real cases before a real judge.
Plaintiff Charles Pierre says he's been flying and customizing remote control helicopters for over 25 years. Charles claims he was flying his helicopter when he heard the defendant's horse galloping, and because he was startled, he took his eyes off the helicopter and it crashed, so he's suing. Defendant Michelle Stewart says the horse Charles is referring to is a miniature horse that is only 36 inches tall, and she believes Charles probably weighs more than the horse. Michelle says Charles had no reason to fear her horse, and therefore she refuses to pay.
Tell me what's happening.
I own Helicopter Hobbies LLC. Own it for 4 years. It's my business.
What is that?
It's a radio control model helicopters I customize and build for customers.
Show me something.
Yes. And
how large are they?
How large? They're different size. They range from 2 feet, and they could be as big as.
How large is this?
That one is probably about 5 feet long. They're pretty big.
And how tall?
From here, probably like this.
Really?
Yep.
How much would this cost?
That one right now, I've got $6,000 into it. And I've got a video if you want to.
Yeah, who has to fly it?
You have to be an AMA card holder.
And this is remote control too?
All remote control, yep. That one is probably about 5 feet long. They're pretty big.
And how tall?
From here, probably like this.
Really?
Yep.
How much would this cost?
That one right now, I've got $6,000 into it.
Defendant Michelle Stewart says the plaintiff, who is her neighbor, mounts spy cams on his remote control helicopters and flies them by her home.
This is interesting to learn about this business.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So here's a video of me flying in my backyard.
Yeah, there you are, Judge, in the front seat.
That's right.
Like I said, they range from different prices, a couple of $100, and depending what you want to do. I've been doing this over 25 years. Fly them, customize them, build all different types of bodies, depending on what the customer wants. And these, they're not toys. They're not your mall helicopter that you find for 30 bucks. A lot of the technology, electronics that you see in them, the military is using them. So there's a lot of moving parts.
Okay. How you all know each other?
She's my neighbor.
Next door neighbor.
Not next door neighbor. She lives across the pond.
So you all are neighbors, and she lives across the pond.
Yep. What happened was, on the Tuesday, on the 5th of June, I was in my backyard flying, like I fly just about every 3, 4, 5 times a week. As I was flying, doing my regular pattern, and all of a sudden I hear something galloping, running through the thick bushes. So it caused me fear and not knowing what was coming at me to step back, and next thing I know, the horse is coming running at me. So as that incident happened, helicopter goes in a pond.
And you believe that she's responsible because her horse came out and...
This is not the first time. I've got statements right here from neighbors.
All right, let me allow her to talk. Go ahead, ma'am.
This so-called horse is only 36 inches tall.
Gosh.
I brought a video to show my daughter with this 26-year-old arthritic pony who is one of the neighborhood pets that the little girls stop by to braid the hair. And I'd like to show how gentle he is.
Let's see it.
And my daughter can comment. You'll see her standing next to it. That's the culprit. And you can see the plaintiff actually probably weighs more than my miniature horse.
That's probably the first time they ever pet the horse. I've got statements stating the horse has never been ridden.
He's too little to ride.
But still, how much does the horse weigh? A horse come running at you. You don't know what's coming.
As much as you.
If you don't know what's coming at you.
State your name.
That is me. I'm Kathleen Stewart. That's me and literally my miniature pony. So me and my little pony, and you see how big I am. I'm only like 5'8", and the horse comes up to about here.
That's
like
not
literally, photo evidence me for scale.
Okay, for scale,
that's
do you have a measure?
enough. I mean, a pig is 1/3 that size, and I would run from a pig.
He's
so
36.
Let's hear it, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead. They are animals with large teeth. An animal with large teeth that's running anywhere near your direction, you get scared. Most people, not knowing the temperament of the horse. It'd be different if he knew the horse's temperament. What is the pony's name or horse?
Niblet.
Niblet. Oh, please. Now you think you're not supposed to run from a horse named Niblet? He come to nibble a little. All right, so go ahead. Your first point is he shouldn't have been frightened because the horse is so small, and therefore it should not have caused him to crash his helicopter. Is that your point?
Actually, my horse, which was scared by the sound of his helicopter, as he comes around in his patter, circling the pond.
Sir, quiet.
You can hear it. It's very high pitched. It makes my dogs bark. My horses come up. They're terrified. I mean, the helicopter's bigger than Niblet.
Oh,
Are your horses required to be restrained?
Yes, and normally they are, but my argument is the causation started with him causing them
No, it's
to
called strict
fly.
liability when it comes to animals being restrained. And that strict liability means whatever happens, whyever it happens, if the dog or horse was unrestrained, then there's automatic liability. For example, say a pit bull comes charging at someone, and you say, well, he shouldn't have been running from it. Or he shouldn't have been looking it in the eye. Because if you look a pit bull in the eye, he's going to rush towards you and bite you. Or he shouldn't have been laughing at the moment because the pit bull heard noise, and when the pit bull hears noise, he rushes toward. That's why they have that law. Whatever the reason was, strict liability attaches to any instance where the law requires restraint, for example, a fence, or requires a leash at all times. Is the pony's name or horse?
Niblet.
Niblet. Oh, please. Now you think you're not supposed to run from a horse named Niblet?
Defendant Michelle Stewart says the plaintiff, who is her neighbor, mounts spy cams on his remote-controlled helicopters and flies them by her home.
And I'm reading one of the letters. Tyler Sherrill lives right next door. I cannot count the number of times I have chased the two horses next door when they have escaped.
Excuse me. Tyler is a transient person who is stalking my daughter and
All
I.
right, let's read some of these other
I also
statements.
have a witness statement here, too.
Let's see
I'd like
it.
you to
What does that
consider.
say?
That is from my
I
husband.
have witnessed the defendant's horse in my backyard on 2 separate occasions. During one instance, my children, myself, and the plaintiff, my husband, were in our yard on a Saturday afternoon. The defendant's horse came galloping toward us, as he did him. As we played outside, my oldest son became very scared and started to run towards the garage to go inside. This was the same direction that the horse eventually turned around and left the property. But the point is, we have another instance, ma'am. What does your witness statement indicate?
Well, he goes into the price list of he's using this as a windfall for financial gain.
Okay, so you're saying
and
he's
he also
overcharging.
does mount spy cams, and as you can see, I
You
have a
have an
beautiful
estimate?
21-year-old.
All right, we're going to see
I'm
what
not
his
so bad
estimate
looking
is.
myself.
Oh, my God.
And we leave our curtains open.
Ma'am, that's enough. Yeah, I'm going to look clearly at the estimate.
Yeah, here's some of my papers on that.
Okay.
Where
And is the
you can
exact
say
type?
He used wholesale
Is it the
prices.
exact type?
Yes.
This is the invoice.
Yes.
Okay, it's the
My husband
exact
went
type.
online, and I know the plaintiff he takes used parts and tweaks
Used
these.
parts? How do you know
Ma'am?
what? How do you know?
You
How do you know
told
what
my
I sell?
husband
I
this.
told you that.
Well, my husband's witness
Ma'am,
it.
I don't see
tell him.
anything exactly like this.
The one list is the list he presented me with.
Right, so that's his, and his says 1,800, so let's go with his list.
No, that's
you
his
presented me
list.
some, ma'am, show me something that is exactly like what he presented you.
That's what I.
No, here,
The one
circle
piece of
it.
paper. Where is
And
the?
I hope it has the 600
Okay.
Pro
Crumpled
Kit
copy.
torque
It's
too.
the same
I hope it
thing.
has
Still
the.
up there on the.
Pardon me?
The crumpled up
The
one is
crumpled
the
part.
exact one.
This is what. Oh, okay. This also says 1,800.
Right, that's what my husband was
So
working
is
with.
this what you wanted me to go with? You said this is the same?
My husband went online and saw the prices at considerably less.
That's what I'm asking you, ma'am. Show me. Give me evidence that you have the exact helicopter.
All right.
Do you have that?
He doesn't
Judgment
sell.
for the plaintiff. You do not, clearly. Have a good day. Judgment for the plaintiff.
He mounts spy cams on his helicopters, and he sells them like to police departments and government things to spy with. So that's what concerned me. I really feel uncomfortable about that. And I have met him before. I welcomed him to the neighborhood. I guess he didn't remember me, apparently.
The spy cam, the judge had a clear picture. I did a Google address, satellite view of my house. And when you look at the picture, her house is heavily wooded with trees. So you can't even see her house, the next door neighbor house. And she told me she had a pool. I didn't even know a pool existed. You can't even see a pool in the picture. So how am I going to spy through the trees? I don't have x-ray vision.